So the beginning of this story date back to September of 2020 when Diaz was first tapped to serve as interim police chief for the Seattle Police Department. This is an interim position, but it was effectively a promotion. The department was facing plenty of demons at the time, we'll put it that way. They had basically retreated from the North Precinct.
Right.
Yeah, they were under siege by the residents of Seattle. And at the time, Seattle SPD's response, as someone who lived through it, was brutal. They did not tolerate people protesting police violence. And there's like recordings of them pepper spraying like 9-year-olds. There was a picket line of umbrellas like to defend themselves. And an SPD sergeant grabbed a 9-year-old out of the crowd and then pepper sprayed her at point blank.
What?
Yeah, there's tons of footage like that.
Oh my God.
And as you can imagine, my opinion is that when SPD deploys platoons of basically soldiers in full riot gear with assault rifles, that's basically permission to the protesters to escalate.
Yeah.
And they did. SPD basically was driven out of several blocks of Cal Anderson, just a few blocks from our studio, and what was called the Chaz, the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone or something like that, was established with basically where the police basically had no jurisdiction, and they abandoned the northern precinct, which was a stunning victory for the Black Bloc, which is the sort of extremists among the protesters. Anyways, this evoked a lot of turmoil because SPD rank and file really didn't like this. The people who lived in this neighborhood didn't like this because they were caught in the crossfire. And then, of course, the Black Lives Matter protesters weren't particularly appreciative that extremists were sullying their bad name. And SPD city leadership was grappling with all of that all at once because they lost control of the situation. I think that's a fair assessment. In a variety of ways. They lost control of the public messaging. They physically lost control of elements of the city. And they also lost control of the response because SPD responded with such brutality that it made them look terrible on the news. So it was just a huge muddle.